Good morning. So I am having a great morning so far. I'm enjoying some black coffee, which is so bizarre to say that I'm actually enjoying my black coffee. But I just dropped my daughter off at school and we've got a lot going on today. But I did have a few minutes where I was able to just sit down and enjoy my coffee, and I figured I'd go ahead and take that opportunity to explain a little bit about what I'm doing. It is honestly um, sounds kind of crazy. I know that I've been hearing about this diet for close to 2 years now, and the first time I heard about it, I thought exactly that. Like, that is a crazy diet. Like, there's just no way. And I didn't think there was no way somebody could stick to it. I just thought there was no way it could be healthy. And then over the last 2 years, I've continuously come across it again and again and again, and by more and more people. And I slowly kind of started thinking, okay, well, maybe there's something to it. So today we're going to talk about how everything is going on the carnivore diet. So I'm sitting out here in kind of like my husband's man cave. So it's a little chilly out here in this area of the house. So excuse me if I seem like I'm a little winded because I'm a little cold. And also, I feel like last night I overdid it on the salt on my meal a little bit, and now my mouth is like really dry, and so maybe I'm gonna cut that back just a touch. I don't know if that's what caused it. It is the middle of flu season. Everybody in my house has had it but me, and yeah, and then it's also really, really cold, and it's been really, really rainy too. So all the elements are working against me at the moment. Let's see. All right, so first of all, how did I hear about carnivore? My first time coming across it was Michaela Peterson. I come across a video of her talking about her getting a hip replacement at 16, 17 years old, something like that. And it just blew my mind how somebody could have that amount of damage to their body from an autoimmune disorder that early in life. But I got interested in her story. I don't have autoimmune disorders, but I do have some other health issues that, I definitely would like to get resolved. But I honestly just followed her story just out of curiosity. It really didn't relate to my personal life. But yeah, so I saw it on Michaela's podcast, I think, first. And then after that, I started seeing a couple of different people that were discussing it. And at first, I thought, it might work for her because she was very sick and she has all this autoimmune that she's having to cut out all the things that negatively impact her body. But, sure enough, she's like a one-off type situation. And then I started hearing from other people like Dr. Ken Berry, and I think he was the second one that I came across. And then I know not long after that, I saw Anthony Chafee talking about it. And then I saw, I can't remember who it was next, but it was maybe about a year ago that I started kind of picking back up on it again, and it started getting kicked into my algorithm. And I started seeing it, and I was like, that's so odd. Like, I don't know how that could be healthy, safe, or how that could possibly work. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm clearly not doing something right because I'm overweight and I'm not healthy. So definitely open-minded, but just the simple thought of never eating vegetables just sounded so alien. It's just so odd because every other diet, that's like your main focus is vegetables. Uh, all right, so in November, no, yeah, in November of this past year, because now we're in January, so November 2023, I really started getting the carnivore algorithm sent to me, and I was seeing people all over just success story after success story, and this healed and that healed. And, I was like, maybe there's really something to this. So I really started going heavy on watching these videos and listening to what people said and comparing notes of what they said they ate. And I realized, their diets are very, very similar across the board. The carnivore diet makes it to where it's very easy to follow because it's very clear what you're not supposed to have. So, for those of you who don't know, there's basically 5 levels of carnivore. You've got people who are coming over from keto, which keto has been really, really popular, and keto is just a low carb diet. And when you go from keto into starting to make it a much more high protein, low carb diet, then you're considered ketovore. So you're eating a lot of meats and the occasional fruit or veggie. And it's very, very minimal. So you're kind of a halfway point between doing keto and doing carnivore. So ketovore. And then the second is standard carnivore, which is what I'm doing. That is your meats, eggs, dairy, black coffee. That's very simple. That's what I eat. And then you have your strict carnivore, which cuts out the dairy and the coffee. So you're basically just eating meats and eggs. Of course, salt is highly recommended in all these diets because it's considered an electrolyte. And then you have B, 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 and E, which is bacon, butter, bacon, I'm saying it wrong, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. And it's exactly that. That's all you eat, which still sounds delicious. And then you have the most strict carnivore, which is the lion diet, which is only ruminant meats, animals that have more than one stomach, and salt and water. That's it. You eat ruminant meat, salt and water, no eggs, no bacon, and nothing like that. You just mainly beef and like lamb, and then I think elk and stuff like that is considered ruminant too. But it's a very strict diet, but it's an elimination diet. You cut everything out and you're eating just that and you feel great. Well, if you decide to phase something back in, you can very easily tell if that specific item negatively affects your body or not. So it's tempting to do it that way. But I decided I was going to start with standard carnivore and cut out all veggies, cut out all fruit. We're doing it for 30 days of January with 0 sugars or artificial sweeteners or anything like that. So all I've been eating is meat, whether that be beef, chicken, we've ate pork, and then we're doing eggs daily. We are doing dairy, so I'm drinking whole milk, heavy whipping cream, butter was a big one, and then just salting our food, or we will season our food. But it's been odd how easy this has been. I really thought that I was going to struggle with the sugar cravings, and I am not. I am such a sugar addict, and I just knew that just like every other diet I've been on, I will be miserable for the first however long because I will be craving sugar, and I will be absolutely miserable, headaches, and just thinking about food nonstop and struggling to get to the next meal, and just kind of that counting down the clock until it's time to eat, whether that had been keto, whether that had been intermittent fasting. I mean, we've tried it, every diet under the sun besides maybe vegetarian or vegan. I like meat, and I'm not doing vegetarian or vegan, but I've tried every diet. I even ate white potatoes for a good while. I think it was like 3 or 4 days. I ate nothing but just plain potatoes because I was convinced that that may help me break my sugar habit. Um, so anyway, I am now on day 8 of carnivore. Sugar cravings have been almost non-existent. The only thing that I've had any kind of like sugar craving for are sodas. And I really didn't have a sugar craving for that until like day 5 or 6. I started kind of being like, like a Coke Zero right now sounds really good. But it was pretty easy to just kind of move on. I think all it is the water kind of gets a little boring. But, I'd rather be drinking boring water than to be dealing with sugar cravings. And I have a feeling that if I were to break down and drink a soft drink, I think all the sugar cravings would just hit me head on, and then I would be miserable. So not worth it. Now I'm following along and doing an update every few days. I would love to do an update daily, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not that disciplined with this channel. We run other YouTube channels, and it's too much filming and editing, and it just to have to do it every single day. So I am doing it every few days, and so far this first week I am down from 220.1 to 217.1, so I lost 3 pounds my very first week, which is not the highest number I've heard of people losing on this diet. However, here's where the real kicker is. I have been on so many diets and not seen a 3-pound weight loss in my first week and been miserable. This week I have been full and satiated and feeling great and still lost 3 pounds. I do not feel like I'm dieting. When I sit down with my plate of food, I do not feel like I'm dieting. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I don't feel like I'm definitely not going hungry. I'm eating plenty of food. And we're finding that even very simplistic stuff that sounds like, that's going to really feel like it's missing something, it's not. It's not at all. Yesterday, my husband wanted roast, like a pot roast. And so we put the roast in our crock pot. And normally we would pair that with diced potatoes and baby carrots and onion and all this kind of stuff, but we just did just the meat and the beef broth. And I thought all day while I was smelling it cooking, it smelled amazing, but I thought all day, I was like, this is going to be quite bland. It's going to be kind of boring. We'll get our fix, I think it'll be filling, but I think it's going to be kind of a boring, bland meal. It was amazing. It was so good. That broth had so much flavor, and the beef was just so satiating. It was a nice warm meal, and it's so cold here right now, so it was just a nice warm meal, and I was fully ready to have a couple of bowls of it, because I was like, it's just this beef broth, I'm not going to be full. After the first bowl, I was stuffed, absolutely stuffed. So I thought that was really cool, that worked out. And then tonight we've got college football national championships. I don't know if any of you guys follow that, but we do. And we're going to do chicken wings tonight because we can. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Any other diet would be like, well, you can't have your chicken wings. I can have my chicken wings. And I'm thrilled to death about it. So, yeah, it's going great. And I'm excited to see what this week holds. And my challenge that I'm giving myself this month is every day in January we're going to be carnivore. And for me personally, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and I'm going to see what happens in 30 days. I definitely, at this point, which I know I have 3 more weeks to go, but at this point, I definitely see me continuing it into February, because I'm not miserable. I'm enjoying it. I'm staying in the right mind frame. I'm watching carnivore videos daily just to kind of feel like I've got that community, and hearing people talking about how they're 4 and 5 years in, and how great they were, and like seeing their before photos and their before stories, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like me, and they did it. They had success with it, and now they're living great lives. And I have a great life, but adding health into that would make it even better. So I guess that's going to be where this video ends, but I just kind of wanted to sit down and explain exactly what we were doing. I know I mentioned that I'm doing carnivore, but I didn't explain what it was. But I will definitely be checking in every few days, kind of let you guys know how I'm feeling. First week, feel great. I have not had the tummy issues that a lot of people report having. So that was great, because that was one of the big things I was worried about. But no tummy issues. Energy, I've had my moments where it's dipped, and that's definitely where the black coffee has come in, and kind of saved the day. But my body's going through a big change right now, so energy fluctuations to be expected, and that's definitely just a minor inconvenience. But yeah, I'm full, I'm satiated, I'm definitely not feeling like I'm missing out. I'm not going through any kind of like headaches or anything like that like I have with other diets in the past. So I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else can improve. And yeah, but listen, my main goal with doing this channel is not only to document what I'm going through and what I'm doing, so that one day I can look back on this and be like, wow, look at the improvement, but it's to find community. I want to find friends, and I want to find people who are going through this with me, or have been through this, or thinking about going through this, because it just seems like that's what everybody has done, is just found a community, found people who have had success with this or have tried this. And I want that. I want to find my people. So if you would like to be one of those people, definitely hit subscribe, comment down below, introduce yourself, tell me what you're currently doing, if you have any questions for me, or if you had any suggestions, let me know. My big goal is to do the diet as I'm doing at standard carnivore, with the dairy and coffee for the first 30 days, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and then from there we may make adjustments. We'll get to that when we get to that, but right now I feel like I'm doing a big thing for improving my health and improving my life overall. So I will talk to you guys in the next one, which hopefully will be maybe a day or two, very soon. And yeah, that'll be it. We're starting week 2. We're on day 8.